Hey, everybody. I was sitting up here talking to myself. Hold on 1 second. And I thought I had stuff plugged in, didn't. Yeah, this all works. Live and in color. That's when you think you're ready and you're not ready, but you think you're ready. Anyway, hello, people. Everything's falling. What's going on? Welcome to everybody in Politics and Wellness land. Welcome to everybody in the balcony. Let me know if you're ready, Brother Nate, so we can get the party rolling. And thank you, everybody, for popping in and joining. Alrighty, I see you. Just give me a second. Let me just get rid of this background noise. All right. Hey, what's going on, sir? What's going on?
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I was going to say you had some background music still playing.
With the noise, yeah.
Look at that, getting all fancier.
Trying.
Them checks rolling there.
Payment checks. Employment checks.
Employment checks.
Yes.
Get it while you can get it, boy. Get it while you can get it.
Thank God for that. But yeah, hopefully you've had a great week. Hopefully you saw I added your little picture in the intro. Hopefully
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I noticed. I was like, he didn't even do it. It was just that quick.
Well, just had to watch the replay.
Right.
That's okay because I'll be in there critiquing anyway.
Right. But anyway, hopefully you had a good week this week.
Yeah, I had a very nice one. How was yours?
It was decent. It was decent, to say the least. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Queen Diva. Always a pleasure to see you. Patty Duke. What's going on? And everybody.
Yeah, and I have to thank Patty Duke. Remember last week when she mentioned neo-slavery?
Yeah.
That is actually a thing.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It is. It's that period right after slavery, during Reconstruction, where the people were just kind of like wandering about.
Right.
It's that there.
Okay.
Because I just said, let me look this up. Oh shit! Hey, Queen Diva, how you doing, darling?
Thank you very much, Miss Patty, for teaching us something new every day, and that's what it's about learning. We don't know everything, and we learn from each other.
Definitely,
and that's what it should be about. So, without further ado, like I said, let's just get into some things because, of course, there's some other things we need to get into. So, as always, we get into.
Hey, Auntie Donna.
Don't make that face.
I was so proud of you.
Yeah, but okay. So yes, I'm gonna try to hold it together.
I'm gonna need you to pray on it, son.
Yes, and I'm praying as we speak. So first, without further ado, of course, it wouldn't be CCNTV if we didn't talk about the news and what's going on in the actual world before we get to all the other stuff. So let's get into it. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Sure. I forgot the darn pictures. They're right up here. It's all right. I'll just grab them, throw them in somewhere. But all right, let's go. As always, it's time for those news updates. All right. Where do we begin with the news updates? How about, do we want to do the worst first?
I don't know. Pick a spot, any spot. It's all crappy.
Right. Let's talk about the worst first. All right. We have Derek Chauvin, who is the murderer of George Floyd, going up for an appeal after spending, has it been 2 years?
No, it hasn't been that long. It hasn't been that long. That was just last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It hasn't even been 2 years. He has put before the judge his appeal to overturn his sentence for murdering George Floyd. And of course, I'm not surprised. I knew this was coming.
But not so soon.
Right. It's just like, at least I would have thought you would have at least done 2 years. He's not trying to do no time. So that I find totally disturbing. Again, not surprised about it, but real quick, we'll just, for those of you who may not know, I hate when it does this. Okay, here we go. All right. So Derek Chauvin's attorneys asked in court on Monday 3 things: to overturn the conviction, grant him a new trial, and return the case to the lower court so he can be resentenced. And this was according to ABC News. Last year, Derek Chauvin was found guilty of all 3 charges in the death of George Floyd and sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison, which he pleaded guilty to violating George Floyd's civil rights in federal court. And there lies the difference. In June of 2021, he was sentenced. He also had requested a new trial, but was denied weeks ago. The 3 former officers who was charged with him in the death of George Floyd, their plea deals were rejected, actually, by the prosecuting attorney. So I don't know what this could mean. For Derek, I don't know if this could mean that maybe he may possibly get a new trial with a lighter sentence, or this could just mean that he's going to have to do the time for the crime. I don't know, but it will be interesting to see what happens here. Hey, what's going on, Jay Dunn and Auntie? Like everybody likes to call people aunties. I love my 2 aunties. I mean, I have others, but Melissa Scott, Auntie Donna, of course. Welcome. But yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that, if any? Because sometimes it's okay if you don't have any.
It's all the shits.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a true narcissist. That's what that is. He just doesn't believe it was true. The system didn't work for him the way that it was supposed to.
But I mean, really, it was supposed to get him off.
Yes, in his mind. Didn't you see the shock on his face? You watched the trial.
I had it too, but I was like, I meant to put that all together to give y'all a good picture of this loony bin. But it is what it is. But
and that's all that it is. I mean, he believes that he was wrong, that he was in the right, and what he did was fine.
But someone died, and that's okay.
It was fine. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's the way it was supposed to work.
And even the other officers, what's coming down the pike for them, I don't think they'll get as much as Derek, but I do believe that they may have to do some time. I believe so. Hey, what's going on, Abso? What's going on, sir? Your thoughts on the 3 other officers?
Well, they were in training, correct?
I thought one was.
Was it just one that was in training?
Yeah, I thought one was in training, but the 2 other officers had been on. I mean, they may have still had somewhat rookie status, but they had been on the force for at least 2 years or so.
2 years. Yeah. I mean, and up there with everything that's going on, I don't know what the fuck's going on with y'all in these northern states. Thank God we're in the Mid-Atlantic. We just got stupid shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
that's
the climate that's up there and what they're used to doing. They were all in shock. They figured they were going to walk away because they have done it so many times in so many other cases that we have not even heard. Right.
That part is true. And I definitely agree to that. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. I'm sitting here talking, the mic off and everything. I was using the mic off the computer. All right. So, and I'm talking to it. And
you just steadily talking. But we can hear. Well, if I answered you, we could hear you.
Hey, sometimes you just go with the flow. Like, I ain't hear what you said, but I was just answering.
You all be frazzled. What you do this weekend?
Huh?
I said you all be frazzled. What you do this weekend?
Work has got me. Yeah, work has got me these past 2 days, running all over the place for no reason.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, we won't talk too shitty about the job because we still want to have one. Bread is high, and bacon too,
and gas, and everything.
And gas.
Right. So, in other news, I know we talked about this some time ago, but for those of you who may be new to the channel, there was a movement called MOVE back in 1985. Of course, when I was a wee little baby, there was a bombing in Philadelphia. The MOVE movement was young Black people who did not move to the rules of society, I guess, so to speak, in Philadelphia, and kind of created their own little oasis. And the mayor of Philadelphia at the time thought, that they were a complete eyesore. They did do a lot of things like the Black Panther Party is, having food programs, not only for the neighborhood, but for the people in the MOVE organization. So recently, as of Thursday of last week, Katrina and Zenaya Dotton held a press conference in front of City Hall in Philadelphia and called on the mayor, Jim Kenney, to release their sister's remains, finally to do the right thing regarding this story. Now, there was a huge bombing, but of course it led to, before that, there was a standoff with police, with the MOVE people inside of this house that they used, and the police department. I did watch the documentary, which was called, I believe it was called MOVE, was it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was called MOVE. It was on HBO. It's a good documentary, and it kind of uncovers how the standoff ended in bloodshed and people dying because the police basically lit fire to that house because one police officer was trigger happy and actually shot another officer, but they utilized that as they fired upon the police, so it gave the police every right to lay waste to their entire organization. Not only did they shoot up the house, but then they came by a plane, dusting planes, and dropped a bomb on the entire house. Let
me add something real quick. And It was just released also that they had planted other bombs around the outside of the home.
Right.
So it wasn't just that one. They were going in with some heavy ammo just to remove people from a house.
Right. So upon this happening, many people had went to jail, part of the movement. In the documentary, this young man who at the time of the documentary was in his 30s, both of his parents who were in the MOVE movement were behind bars, and he was pushing along with other city advocates to get his parents released. Towards the end of the documentary, both of his parents were finally released after being in jail for about 20 years or so, when that young man was a little kid. And it just brings to light the disgust and the huge amount of violence that they put upon our communities. And then when, we meet their violence with violence, it's like, oh, how could you do that? But yes, in this organization, I definitely wish you would check it out. The documentary, I believe it's called MOVE. If not, don't quote me, but it's for the 1985 Philadelphia MOVE organization. You'll be able to find the documentary and its full name in its entirety. Definitely check it out. So, and good news and good moves for that. I mean, prayers to the family, of course, to finally let that sister get rest.
No, they didn't.
They didn't release it?
No, they hadn't released her.
Because
it was two sisters.
Okay. The article
it was two.
They said they were having a press conference, so I assume that they released it.
No, they were still pressing, because remember, the remains went to a college.
A college, right?
And they were actually using the remains when we were all in lockdown,
studying
as a study.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now it's been over a year So everybody just assumed that once they found out who these children were and who they belonged to, they actually had, relatives still alive, that they would release the bodies to them, which they didn't. Now, evidently, the former mayor wanted the remains destroyed.
Wow.
Okay, and they didn't do it. They got rid of him, or I don't know if it was the mayor or whoever was in charge of the investigation. They wanted those remains, once they were removed from the college. He wanted them destroyed, which wasn't his call in
the first place.
Yeah. So this young man is still fighting to get, just for them to release them.
Right.
What's actually left, because it's like bone fragment and things like that. Now, if you could trace somebody's, but I just want to know what happened with the rest of the body, the rest of the remains, because if you just had, say, like a femur bone or something like that, you evidently had to have the whole intact body.
Right.
Is the rest of the remains scattered all over the United States at other schools? Because this was like a forensics.
I wouldn't be surprised, because that's what happened, and that's what happened to a lot of our ancestors during those times. A lot of the quote unquote elite universities that have medical schools have Black bodies for their research. So, I wouldn't be surprised, even in 1985.
It's just really crazy. But to think that even at this short of time that they would have gone and actually done that, is just totally disrespectful. So never underestimate these people, because we even have some that look like us now. that will do that to us.
Right. Yeah. Just. I believe it is.
And under the real. Oh, okay.
I believe it is. Hey, what's going on, Troy Allen, sir? How are you?
Hey, AR. Hey, Lynn T. Hey, Troy. Hey, look, Troy. Look. There's no way in the world I'd have been up there cleaning those windows, because you know what? They'd have to send out another window cleaner by the time I mess up those windows.
Cleaning the windows.
You didn't see he was doing commentary while he was working.
Oh, okay.
That shit made the pit of my stomach hurt, put it like that. And I know those people that were in that office building.
Oh, wow.
They would have said, "Oh my God, what bird was that? Just shit it all down the window." They'd have to send another one in there, because that'd have been it. I'd have been done.
Oh, man.
Oh boy,
that is crazy.
But kudos to you, because I can't do heights like that. Now I can walk on the roof. That's fine, but I'm not hanging and swinging and dangling and peeping through the window. That did look kind of freaky though. You peeping through the windows. What's the craziest shit you saw?
I can imagine.
I know. Can you imagine? That'd be nasty. It'd be mayonnaise and shit. I couldn't do that shit. It's like, oh my God, nasty. All right.
Right. We'll get into that.
But it is. You gotta check it out, because I was like, oh man, you know how you have that feeling deep inside when it's like, oh, the heights. And I was like, oh no, fuck that shit. Let me get the fuck down. That's it.
You feel like you're gonna fall just from standing there looking.
Just from standing there. It's like I'm sitting on a fucking chair looking at a monitor, and I feel like way all queasy. And I'm like, oh.
That's crazy. But
but kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. Definitely. I couldn't do that shit.
Definitely. But in other political news, President Joe Biden has asked Congress for another $33 billion to send to Ukraine. The funding would include $20 billion in military and security assistance, for weapons and ammo for Ukraine's and its alliances in the region. Again, I'm not, whoop-de-doo. Joe Biden, again, had asked Congress on Thursday for more money to send to Ukraine. How do you feel about it, if you feel anything? They're investing in Ukraine's freedom, it said, and the security and small price to pay to punish Russia for their aggression. I mean, no offense to my white counterparts, none at all. And I don't mean this in no type of way, but I'm not, you know.
Well, number one, if they were really that interested, they would have given them more help, you know, long before their city, actually their whole country was totally leveled.
Right.
You know, they could have done better than that. They could have given them the airplanes.
Right.
You know, because I understand what they want to do. They want to stay kind of neutral.
Yeah, but you're supplying.
You know, that they're just sending in the supplies and everything. But you want to kind of stay neutral because you don't want to spark a larger conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know with Putin.
Yeah, but once Putin taps one of those G7, which, you know, that may come if he don't, you know, if they continue to kind of fight him on taking Ukraine. If he taps one of the 7, then of course they're going to join it. And of course,
and they're pretty much just waiting for him to do that. They want him to make him look bad.
Okay.
That him being the aggressor,
right?
Which I don't know how much more aggressive you can get. Totally invading another country.
Right? Exactly. And I do hear that he went for surgery for cancer. I'm not sure how much you can't believe it, but
yeah, I don't believe it either because I haven't heard it.
Yeah,
I heard it like in one spot and then that was it.
Yeah, I've heard it a few spots, but I'm just wondering if we're trying to, you know, because right now the world is just looking at him as evil dictator, and he's trying to gain some sympathy. So it's like, what other way to gain sympathy is to say, oh, he's going under, you know, treatment for cancer, and then people are going to go, oh well, you know, maybe that's why he's been pushing this mission towards Ukraine because he ain't been well, you know, and that kind of thing, kind of giving credence to him, you know, doing the bullshit that he's doing. But I don't know. I don't see him quitting this, even if he does not win. I don't see him backing down at this point. I see him totally sticking his heels in, and whatever the outcome's going to be, it's going to be.
Yeah. But then remember, too, over there in the Ukraine, as we like to say over here, there's money on the floor over there, okay?
All the way on the floor.
You know, to go in and totally do reconstruction on a country and all of these, you know, other companies moving in, that it's just money everywhere.
You even had some stars there, Angelina Jolie as the ambassador to the United Nations.
No, what? Nancy Pelosi, you don't wear a blue suit in a war zone. Yeah. You stood up. You know what? If they would have javelin her ass in that blue suit, I would have been over it. I would have totally fucking died laughing. She stood out like a sore thumb. Everybody else was in grays and, you know, camo, right? You know, and she walked in these little kitten heels,
right? In a war zone.
Okay, in a war zone. If that wasn't next, go ahead. Next, right. I've been called her all kinds of just stupid shit. Yeah, let me just put it like this: it was reminiscent of the take a knee with the kente cloth. Okay,
yeah, right.
It's just
exactly. Even
symbolism at its best.
The way to get the hell out of Dodge when they were in a hospital for sick children who were injured during a lot of the bombings, and they had got word that a missile might be headed, and she ushered her ass. Skipped her ass right on out of there, as people should. You know what I'm saying? And you showed up suited and booted.
Like, she would die a hero's death.
Child.
No, all you would have saw the fucking pump flying through the air. I mean, let's be realistic.
She's like 80-something years old too. At that.
Yeah. But the problem I have with them visiting, they're in the war zone. I mean, they're in the war. They're fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their existence. Even though I may not agree with them
with
on other areas, you know, they're fighting a war, and you want to have like what do you call it? Like a tour.
Yeah. You know, and a camera moment. You want to
pretty much a camera moment.
Right. Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing. But yeah, next, because that's her silly ass. All of their silly asses.
Yeah, right. So the Supreme Court just last night has voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, which basically abortion rights out the window.
It was a memo. It was a memo of what may come. But you can say that.
I mean, it's a memo what they want to do, right? But who didn't know that this was going to happen, especially once
those three got into
once
court. That's what they were going for first.
Yeah, once it was confirmed, that was the matter. Before a dude left, that is what the whole.
You said that when the dude left.
Yeah,
him. Okay.
The old, not the Cheeto, but the one that Justice Jackson will be replacing. They were not going to let him leave. That was part of the package. He wants to go. Okay, well, before you go, we got to overturn this. So I'm not surprised that this will be the last thing they drop down before they hit it for hiatus for the summer. And
it is that time of the year where they'll be skipping about.
Right. And that's just what they're going to do. They're going to drop this, and then they're going to skip on about and let the rest of the country deal with it how they may. Other states have already implemented their own abortion laws. So, I mean,
there are a couple of maps out there that will show you what states. Some states, once it's turned over, pretty much in those states, their abortion will be against the law.
Right.
There's some that nothing will change. Thank God here in the state. I don't know what you motherfuckers up north and down south. I don't know. I used to think this was a shithole, but I'm starting to
right.
I'm starting to feel a little feel good that I ain't go nowhere.
Right.
This shit is scary.
Yeah, it really.
I wouldn't want nobody. I mean, I wouldn't. How are you going to tell? I mean, just the circumstances. Of how are you going to tell people what to do with their bodies? Number one, you're invading their privacy.
That's it.
Number two, you don't have things, you haven't even thought it through because you do not have breakdowns for incest, rape.
Right.
These things. So you're telling, in some states, I think it's Mississippi. In some states, you're actually, if you're raped, you actually have to have your rapist child.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of women doing that, and I commend them.
Right.
I mean, totally commend them.
That was even an episode on Chicago, The Shy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really.
But how are you going to tell? But this just boils down to white people trying to control certain things. But don't think that this is it. They're coming after everything else. Everything else they're coming after.
The tip of the iceberg.
You think they're gonna dismantle the fuck out of the United States?
Right. You're
gonna think it's the 1950s shit.
Because if they can't have it, they're gonna burn the shit down.
They're gonna burn the shit down. But you know what? I had no problems with burning them down with it either.
I hear you. All right. So
I ain't just hearing you. See, I'm at that point now. I ain't got shit to lose.
No, I feel you.
Because you think about your children, you think about your grandchildren.
Right.
Here, when you're at a certain age, you kind of see some movement, but to totally see us slide all the way back, we're not doing that shit no more.
And the crazy part is, you're sliding back, and a lot of the people weren't even there to know what they're going into. Totally blind and oblivious to where it's headed. Which I think it's definitely crazy.
Yeah, because crazy. I mean, because once you do away with abortions, you're gonna have the young girl that cannot afford to have one, because if they go to another state to have the abortion, you know, there some of these states have it implemented that you could be arrested.
You could be arrested. Yeah.
Okay, for going to another state to have an abortion.
Yeah.
The stigma, the trauma. Nobody wants it's
not
not
only
something.
can you be arrested, but if underage and your parents agree to it or take
That's right.
or any grown person takes you, they can be arrested and charged as well. So
that's right.
They're making sure everybody in this has paid some sort of price. And speaking of paying a price, how to remove your personal info.
Real quick though. Something we didn't even think about with the whole abortion, Roe v. Wade. Now you have trans men in the mix. Trans men. Okay, because trans men do have babies.
Interesting.
Okay, think about it. You now have trans men in the mix. So where are you going to go where you can?
Gay marriage ain't been safe ever since gay white men secretly been all involved in it. That has never been safe. They've been kicking and itching to get at all that. And they will before they go for summer break and that man leaves office, they will dismantle everything. They will dismantle everything. And women talking about Me Too, everybody gonna be talking about Me Too in a minute.
I know.
Everybody
I'm gonna have Me Too tattooed right on the inside in a circle right around my anus. Okay. And we say, oh my goodness, what is that? It's Me Too. Because everybody's getting fucked. Everybody's getting fucked. But nobody thought about, now you have trans people have been here since everybody's been here. They're just various degrees. But now it's more more out in the open.
Yeah.
Yes, trans men are having babies. Yeah. They're not, if they have not had the SRS surgery.
Right.
See, that's the whole thing. People get hung up on the SRS surgery. Yeah. They'll still have their he'll still have see the fucking words from you. They'll still have their vaginas. They're still functional.
Fly Girl, I want to thank you for your super chat. Thank you. Thank you. I definitely appreciate your super chat. It's greatly appreciated. But yeah, it's a lot of things. It's not just women's reproductive things on the ballot here.
No, it's human beings. Now you have to rephrase it as human rights. Human beings' right to reproduce, or not to. Yeah. I'm telling you. You just can't tell everybody to swallow. But anyhow,
some people should have. But
a long time, or left on the napkin.
Or just flushed it down the toilet. So anyway, like I was saying, how to remove your personal information from Google. So Google had announced on the 27th that the public can now submit a removal request. Excuse me, I've been reading all day for additional Google research, which contains your personal information. The company has previously had very high bars of getting results with sensitive info being wiped away. So, with people being scared about their information being on the web and things of that nature, they have pushed Google to create an app that will actually help you erase your personal information. More like images of minors, deep fake pornography, and other explicit content. Although getting the results completely scrubbed from the Google search won't actually remove all of the web pages from the internet. So, I don't know. For some, I guess it works, but
like I said, some people before the event of doxing, never realized how much actual stuff that you have out there.
Yeah.
especially in the very beginning with
Right.
Facebook and the way that Facebook was just leaking like a sieve.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you turned around, they were having data breaches and things like that.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
people easily find you by just typing in your name. You can go to images and pull up the photo of you and pull up,
Yeah.
you
Very
know, a
true.
lot of information that way. That's like when we had that whole thing when they thought I was stumped down.
Oh yeah.
The first thing, I mean, I'm already tight with
Right.
what I have on there because I don't need you motherfuckers tipping up on me. But that was the first thing I did, and I did have a loose end, and I tied that shit up real fast.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have you motherfuckers tipping up on me.
Yeah. Right. Right. So yeah, well, Google's
did we have did we have the link for that? Let me see.
Oh, the link for the Google?
Yeah, because they gave said what you need to do. It actually has.
Let's see.
Wait a minute, I have it.
It says check out the Google guides to find the content URL, the images.
I'm gonna put the article in.
Okay. Does it say
I hope that's the right one. I ain't sending y'all no porn.
Let's see.
There you go. That's good.
No, I don't give a.
Yeah, there it is. That's the article, and it should be in the article. Yeah, but even like with Google, I've had them until I figured out how to turn that shit off. They would send me once a month. They would send me emails saying every place that I've been,
mm-hmm.
and it would show a map of everywhere I've been.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I had to ask my wife, I was like, you put this shit on here? What you trying to do? You trying to catch up a nigga, ain't you?
Right.
But I got you.
Get you.
Bitch.
Gotcha.
I said, a bitch is smart. Anyway, and figured out how to look. It only took me 2 days to figure out how to turn that shit off.
Not 2 days though, damn.
Yeah, cause I mean, it's like it's embedded in, you know, depending upon what type of phone you have to, you know, go through all these sub settings and everything like that, and go online and turn this shit off. I'm like, crazy. Yeah, but hopefully that would help, you know, somebody who may want to clean up. And I think you should do it maybe like every 6 months. Just dox yourself every 6 months.
Yeah, check yourself and make sure there's no stuff out there that you don't know about. It's one thing if you know about it. It's like
yeah, but if it's that one time. But the one good giveaway is when you start receiving spam phone calls.
Right.
You know, somebody has your phone number, and it's usually online.
Right. And speaking of that, just real quick, again, I know I've mentioned this before, but if you get a letter from your bank or banking institution or any kind of institution where you have money in, and they're asking for your information to send back or to confirm, please call those institutions first to confirm that they have sent the information, because they don't usually ask that. They already have that, so you know that's
even Amazon. They're doing it through Amazon. Don't be in such a hurry to click on it.
Right.
Just check it out. If they don't know your name, why wouldn't they know your name? They have an account with you. It's little things, but they usually prey on older people that aren't that tech savvy.
Right.
So, because I usually do a 5-second delay, I'll look at something and it's like, oh, I'm not overdoing nothing. We'll look at that later on in the afternoon. Then it's like, oh hell no, they ain't nothing but spam and shit.
Right. All right. So in some Black history news, back in 1961, Abraham Bolton became the very first Black Secret Service agent to serve as a White House detail. Within months of him witnessing his other colleagues assigned to JFK, he spoke out about their lackadaisical kind of attitude and faced retaliation and other things regarding his, time at the Secret Service. But recently, President Joe Biden has pardoned this young man of, how old is he now? 87. 87-year-old.
Well, at least this one's still alive.
Right. Right.
God damn, because it seemed like every 5 minutes they were giving people pardons that died 200 years ago. They don't give a fuck about that shit.
Right. And what is the family gonna do with it now? I mean, but
If the family even knows, because you're so far removed. Who tracks that far back?
Yes.
Don't track that far back. Symbolism. The United States is full of symbolism. That's because so you can be distracted from the real shit when they're fucking you. Right. When you're constantly, as Stumpdale says, why was you looking over your shoulder? You knew what was back here, what was going on. It's because you're fucking me.
Oh God.
Okay then, sir.
Congratulations to the 87-year-old Secret Service agent who's finally getting his,
Yeah, could you imagine being Secret Service back in early 60s, late 50s?
Yeah.
Oh, he caught hell. Yeah. I know he wanted to pop them motherfuckers every chance he got.
Right.
That is crazy.
It is.
That is crazy. Oh, but one real quick jump back because I didn't answer your question on Biden giving them all that money because we got sidetracked with Nancy Pelosi's blue ass suit. I always find it amazing when countries can find money for war and not take care of their people.
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about here.
No, but I'm saying Republicans do that all the time, and I know
these motherfuckers here.
Republicans do that all the time. They will talk about spending. We're spending too much, but they'll throw millions, billions, trillions.
So just like he's just reaching in the bag, pulling out all these millions and millions of dollars.
That's it. So you get some money. Here you go. And we, people sitting over here like, well, we still talk about reparations.
I mean,
and other things. Infrastructure.
When for the 2 years when we were all sequestered for the 2 years,
sequestered.
Yeah, I mean, and they were giving that child tax credit, where they were actually receiving $300 extra, and that was the first time that child poverty had dropped.
Yeah,
I mean, it's stuff like that, but they snatched that shit back quick.
Oh, they did.
Okay,
but, and then some of us pay for it.
We'll always pay for it without the loot. Okay.
Until that, I'm still feeling a little butthurt.
I'm shaking.
Right. So Trevor Reed, this young Marine, is back in U.S. custody. He was released after being a prisoner to Russia. It was for a swap. Him for another Russian he was detained back in 2019. He's now back in the United States. His mother is Paula Reed, who tweeted earlier Thursday when her son was released that she was excited for her family to get back together.
Yeah, you've seen this. Everybody should have seen this couple. This couple has always, for as long as they had him, fighting for his release.
Yeah.
And he was traded for a spy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the three. I guess there's two left that we know of.
I think
one other white male, and
I think he's Korean.
You said Korean? I think he is. Mm-hmm. And Brittany Grinder, and she's just been reclassified. Yes, as kind of like a political prisoner type thing. So I guess they started with him first. So even though it may be real silent, you're not hearing too much, just because they really can't talk about it.
Yeah.
You jeopardize it. Shit, she and the other guy would disappear so far back in the system, you'll never find them. They'll never come out of there. So you just don't want to, even though they're worth something. Right. So it's just figure out what he wants or what they want. So,
right.
Okay. Well, they got him back.
Yeah.
You did hear the one. the United States did have one casualty of a person. Why are you laughing? I wasn't even gonna laugh at that one. I was gonna be stone cold serious about that one. About the soldier that was killed over there, ran over there to the Ukraine to help them fight. Okay. And your thoughts on that, sir? Next? Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Because I just think sometimes it's just people hungry to be in the battle, to be in the fight. Yeah. Sometimes it ain't even about.
What's the word? They fantasize, glorify, romanticize.
Romanticize about war and doing it. I mean, you watched it January 6th. I mean, it was just like, the fuck are we doing? Because he lost for a count, we doing all this.
Now see, last night they threw that goddamn fence up there in 10 minutes. They thought all the wind was gonna come up there, smack them asses around. They threw that fence up there
real quick. But it's the difference. It's the difference when they even think the fact, oh, here's some white men gonna come and just, angry and just be upset, and that's okay, and nothing happens. But yeah, anything else is like when they think, oh, we might have a mob of people, they throwing up barricades and the military is out in full force. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's really funny. But speaking of the military, Charles Young becomes the first Black general in history. Now, this man, of course, is dead.
Symbolism. Right.
The Army senior leaders honored the U.S. Colonel Charles Young on Friday during a promotional ceremony which was held in the United States Military Academy at West Point, located in New York. This has been like 100 years in the making. He went from being a colonel to a brigadier general, which he had been denied promotion for more than 100 years. So again, remember early on, I know I've done stories about the racism in the military and in the Air Force and things of that nature. And this is just another way for them to kind of clean it up.
Actually, it was pizza night.
Is who?
Pizza night.
Pizza night?
Yeah, they gave him the celebration along with pizza night.
Are you shitting me? Really? No.
No, I'm playing. I'm serious, but I'm playing. I mean, that's what the equivalent.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. But I just,
Candy Cane.
Hey, what's going on, Candy Cane? How are you? And welcome to everybody coming into the room. Welcome. Yeah, I just, it's
I mean, like, that's the equivalent of it. It's like, did anybody even know? Somebody, you know what? A memo went across somebody's desk.
I mean, it did.
What that shit was.
Of course, it did. But I'm just saying, when you really want to atone for these things, you really atone. You don't do bullshit. You really atone for them. You first of all come out and say, yes, we have done these atrocities, even in the military, where we've had to fight for the nation and then come back home and be treated like shit. Yes, even as you were fighting, we were still executing your ass because we didn't feel like you was listening, or we just felt like it, or for any reason, and was able to send your body back home and say you died in war.
Yeah, fighting for somebody else's freedom when you didn't have it at home.
Yeah, get into it. So yeah, I just congratulations to the family, but his great niece had to accept the award on his behalf. Thank God, at least his story and what he's gone through was still being passed down orally.
Somebody actually remembered it in his family.
Through family members. Otherwise, it would be erased and nobody would be sitting here talking about it, which, of course...
Oh, no. He'd have been in a file somewhere in an old moldy book in the library.
Right.
Of books that nobody reads anymore.
Somebody did some research and dug it up and said, hey, we should be looking into this. which I think is ridiculous. But anyway, shout outs to him and his family. And, hopefully they stop doing these things in private and really just come out and say what it is. But I'm over it. Other political news, of course, Oklahoma's governor has signed a ban on non-binary gender markers. All right, the governor of Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt, signed a bill on Tuesday that bans the use of non-binary gender markers on state birth certificates. This is the first ban of its kind in the U.S., according to the LGBTQIA elemental P.
The children. It's just so much easier.
Yeah. The legal advocates group and several other states have done the exact opposite in recent years, allowing citizens to use non-binary gender markers on the state's document.
So now you have to be whatever you were born.
Yeah. So now you're making sure the person has to be whatever they were born. I guess unless they pay when they get older for the money to change it.
Well, no, they won't even allow them to do that there at all. They've rescinded it. So you either have to be male or female. You can't be non-binary.
Well, I mean, I guess if you move, well,
it won't last.
No, I guess so. No,
yeah, I mean, because now you can have your birth certificate, changed to match whatever you want it to be.
Right.
But now there you're either going to have to be male or female.
Right. Just absolutely.
Isn't it crazy as shit?
It is.
Now what if you're intersexed?
Yeah, but
it's not on the genetic level.
About somebody else. Why are you so concerned about what somebody else chooses to be? Like, it affects you. Like, it don't have no effect on you, nor your parenting skills. Because if you were a decent parent, none of that stuff would matter. So I just don't. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Well, some people.
That's because they want to be in everybody's private life. Everybody's business. Mind your fucking business. That's all. It's very simple. It'll keep you from getting your fucking lip split. Mind your business.
Where your feelings hurt.
No, I'd rather split their lip. Yeah. But anyway, it lasts longer.
Right.
Because a good stern talking to evidently does not get the point across, because they'll come back. You'll have some other crazy ass person, white person, come back. I mean, and just worry about the stupidest shit.
Right.
You got people in your state that don't have housing, and you're worried about what somebody wants to self-identify as.
Right. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Like, you're concerned about that. Like that takes precedent over everything else. People starving, people not having housing, all the things.
No, but it's a fuck you to all the minorities.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying all the minorities, I'm talking about all the non-white males.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did come out right. Okay, I'm not sure. So many. I'm so fucking confused at this point about who to call what. But
right.
For all for all, if you're not a white male,
if you're not a white
what concerns you is not of importance.
Yeah.
But until it concerns us.
Right.
You see, if they mind their own. Yeah.
Mind your damn business.
And that's all it boils down to. Mind your business. Why are you worried about what I do?
That is a message.
It's just like when, as men, when you go to the urinal and the white boy is peeping over to see what you got. I ain't never understood. Well, I do understand it now that I'm a grown man, but I ain't never. It's like, because I guess they hear it. It's like, no, it's not a myth. It's real.
I want to know if it's true.
It is. I had to take.
Yeah.
I had to take one big Rico step back.
one Rico step back.
Yeah, one big Rico step back. So I don't, you don't touch the back of the bowl.
Right. Right. I get it. So, in some mental health, anybody ever notice that tobacco industries has been targeting Black Americans with menthol smokes? like Newport cigarettes just make you go, Well, yeah, the study's out, and the article is definitely, check it out, in NPR talking about Newport cigarettes, and from 2021, from a feature that young black couples and burgers on plates and hanging out and all this kind of stuff to kind of get young people enthralled in smoking and all these other things. While at the same time, you have the other commercials talking about how cigarettes are bad. So I don't know. It was pretty interesting. Definitely want to check it out. It talks about drug use and health and how 80% of black smokers prefer menthol cigarettes. I don't know how true that is. I am not a cigarette smoker.
So they say it cools the burn. Well, if you ever hit a blunt, you get that burn in the back of your throat. The menthol evidently cools it.
Oh,
you don't get that burn. But it's flavored. But they also, I don't know how.
I would just say try some ice. I don't know.
No, it's a burn. It's like tonsillitis burn. Not too long ago when they started having those flavored cigarettes and they started snatching them out, that it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I had dropped the link.
I get that.
The link
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that was all I had.
Let's see.
Let me see if I missed something. Because usually when I'm pressing.
Oh, Rodney King.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to pop that.
You didn't read that. Okay.
What 30?
Well, it was 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years since Rodney King, and
we still haven't gone anywhere. Actually, it's gotten worse.
And every 10 years, somebody has since Rodney King. Every 10 years, something has really happened that has caused the nation to take notice on what's happening to black people, men, women alike. Since Rodney King alone, within 30 years, about every 10 years, something has happened to where the world has paused and paid attention to the bullshit.
Well, that's because of media.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, but too, and that's really the main thing. Media has basically, we watched them whip him brutally.
Right.
Not only causing physical damage, but also
the media at that point. That was
well, no, you're right, because it was
the first.
It was that big ass videotape.
Yeah. You with the grainy picture,
real grainy, and that was Zoom. That was, I guess he had a Zoom, and that was really didn't Zoom. But yeah, they caused him so much physical damage and caused him brain damage.
Yeah.
They actually, and which you did not hear about.
Right.
Them actually doing that to him.
Right.
And
didn't he die of stroke?
He drowned. No, he drowned.
Oh.
He drowned in this swimming pool.
Oh.
But
I thought he had a stroke or something.
Well, maybe he had a stroke in the pool.
Oh.
But even before that, you had Emmett Till.
Yeah,
you had so many others. But this whole thing just feels like a
drag that bitch out her house. I'm sorry. I'm still going to drag that old bitch out her house, out her nursing home. She needs to be dragged. Drag that bitch out of her nursing home. I said it, and I'll stand by it. I said it. Get that bitch. She deserves to go to jail. If you're going to take that old pudding poppy man and drag his ass to jail with his blonde half ass, you're going to take her ass.
What'd you say, pudding pop?
Yes.
No.
That's how I feel. I can't stand it. But anyway, go ahead.
Lindsay, no, he might have been he might have been street slow, but I don't think he was slow. But there was a vast difference from what he used to be, and that damage was caused by them, beating itself.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if he was slow or anything, but I know he ran through that money though. He wasn't that slow. Ran through that money.
Yeah, he should have had somebody overseeing him, but they probably didn't know that there was any damage.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. They'll probably just give him this money, he'll go away.
Right.
But you know what they did? They pimped his ass out there for him to come out there and say, "Can't we all just get along?"
Yeah. And they can't.
You definitely they had the right motherfucker.
Yeah.
They really did. They had the right motherfucker, because I'd have told them straight, let this shit, burn this shit to the ground. Burn this shit to the fucking ground. Burn it to the goddamn ground.
Burn.
Now be selective where you burn. Don't burn down Taco Bell. We won't have any of that. but do burn this shit down. Be strategic when you attack these places,
If you start burning their communities down, you'll start getting some answers. I'm trying to tell you. They're not worried about you burning your own neighborhoods down. They're not worried about that.
That's why when they had the Freddie Gray thing here, they weren't worried about Pennsylvania North Avenue, because this shit was already abandoned in the first place.
Right. They don't go there. Any place that they don't go,
they don't go there, and they don't put any money in those areas. That's why they look the way they do. It's not because of the people. It's because funds are diverted from those areas. It's Baltimore. It's Baltimore City. It's supposed to be the whole entire city within the city limits. Why do you have some areas that are totally neglected, but then you're going to blame it on the people? Right. And then to be realistic about it, the people aren't even in those areas, because the majority of them have moved out. Because of redlining, you no longer had those people in those areas.
And thanks to good old Johns Hopkins University Hospital.
Oh, they're
moving up.
Yeah, and you know what the fuck they're doing? They're buying up all that shit down there. They done coerced a lot of people to purchase houses in those areas. And they finally, a
lot of their nurses and doctors buy houses in the area. We can giving them kind of incentives to, if they do wind up coming aboard the Johns Hopkins train, that they can get discounts on the housing, that all this kind of stuff. So
our subway system was diverted to end there. It was supposed to pick up and head east, but that's because of Johns Hopkins.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because at the end of the line, it takes you right and drops you right in Johns Hopkins Hospital, right underneath Johns Hopkins Hospital. I wonder why they never burn their neighborhoods. Ain't nothing there to burn in the black neighborhoods. Let's see, 1936.
Wow.
Georgetown. Let me say that happens.
Started in their neighborhoods. Watch what they do. They'll listen because they don't want you to, they don't want you to burn down their stuff. You see what happened when they just walk through Black Lives Matter protests. Just walk through.
Oh, hell yeah. You just walk through. They start pulling guns out on them and everything else.
Their guns out. So they already know what it is. They don't care when you're in your own neighborhood doing that shit.
True. Okay. See, Genderville. He back. Move. So we're pretty much it. I did throw a last one in there. Did you see that? Shawnee Band. No. Should be the very, very last one.
Yeah.
Well, in short, let's see if I can pull up that.
Okay, so Shawnee. So the Shawnee Council had voted 8-0 to outlaw co-living groups. The city defined co-living as 4 or more unrelated adults living in a dwelling unit. If one adult is unrelated to another adult, then the whole group would be classified as unrelated and therefore banned. Co-living is generally known as a trend that has started in the coast where multiple roommates share common spaces. What it says, but they lock their bedroom doors. So I don't know who this really is supposed to like go after. The director of education has planned. Oh, okay. So is this supposed to be like a schooling thing? I think.
No, they what it is you have people that live in certain areas. Say if you live in a neighborhood and you have a group of people that live together, non-related,
Yeah,
but they're roommates.
Right.
They want to cut that out.
Yeah, but I've noticed in the article here as I was just skimming through it, it said the director of education had planned to do something. So I was wondering if that had anything to do with where they were trying to target, like college age kids and things of that nature to kind of turn that whole, group living kind of
thing, a communal type of thing. Well, it's pretty much like this. People can't afford housing as it is.
Right.
And I think they're trying to head off that there people, communing.
Right.
If you're not a relative type thing, but what are they going to do? Ask for your goddamn birth certificate, But I think they're trying to cut that off because housing has gotten so out of control.
Crazy.
Yeah, what state is this?
Really, really crazy.
Tennessee. It's in Tennessee. Yeah, think about all the homeless people. Think about all the people that are being evicted now.
Right.
I mean, shit. I had people come live with me.
Right.
I mean, they had to give me an itinerary when you get the hell out. But, you just have, shit happens. People, and if you got the room, you got the room. And then what they're trying to do is cut that out. What they're going to have is like with the abortion bill, they'll have somebody snitch on you.
Right. Yeah.
So you'll be out here fucking your neighbors up for something else besides them snitching on you about you take it. You get no abortion.
Minding your goddamn business.
And that must be the theme for tonight. Yeah. Mind your goddamn business. Look, if your grass is cut and your trash is put out, and you can party on Saturday or Sunday, as long as I ain't got to go work or nothing like that, you're not a disruption to me. I don't give a fuck what you do.
Right.
And they're turning neighbors against neighbors.
Yeah.
Because you snitch on me, you got a 30-year mortgage. So it's a long ass time. For me to be on that ass.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy, and that's what I think they're trying to really head off, because we're going to have such an influx of people that just can't afford to live within because of the housing situation, and they're talking about us being in another housing bubble, so you may have another collapse.
Yeah,
have that shit. So y'all make sure y'all got your toilet paper. Right. If nothing else, they say they do it all day long. Yeah, I think if in my neighborhood, I half these motherfuckers ain't married. I don't know who's doing what to whom and who's living whatever. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I really don't. Like I said, your grass cut, you put your trash out. Your kids ain't tearing up nothing. That's the only thing. That if you got some badass kids, yes, your ass has to go. Yeah. But
control your goddamn kids.
Control your kids. But kids ain't no problem. I don't give a shit. You might have 3 or 4 different families living in the house, but as long as it's quiet, I don't care.
Yeah, very true.
Let's say it's overdue. Yeah, a housing collapse with everything else that's going on. I mean, shit. What else is left? We done went through a pandemic, a panoramic.
Yeah.
We done been through that. The government's not shit. Now they're leaking out information.
Yeah.
And that's what that boils down to. That it's like, damn, you can't recover from one before something else pops up.
Right. Very true. Very, very, very true.
You really can.
Nope. No way,
Yeah, but
no how.
why'd you leak that? Why'd you leak that memo out?
I didn't do that.
I know you did that shit.
That was
Somebody did that shit.
that was me.
It wasn't Nancy Pelosi because she walked through there. She had to take them little ass
Definitely
steps.
nasty.
Can you see her running across the
No,
damn building?
no. She got hit.
She be tipped. Yeah, she'd have got Nancy would have got clipped.
Also, I didn't even understand. I was like, why would you go? First of all, you are third in line for the presidency of the United States. Why the hell would you even? But whatever. But that's why I knew it was just a photo op. Like that was
It was a major slap in the face. Here they are. These people are fighting for their lives. They are exterminating these people over
right.
there
And you
with these
going,
mass graves.
yeah.
And you're coming there for a photo op in your blue fucking suit. They should have blown your ass up
to say
real.
what? Right.
They should have Scud missiled that ass. I ain't lying.
But anyway, all right, let's get to it. And we'll be back after these commercial breaks, and then we'll get into who said that. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get up? Oh, I'm sorry. Fucking bitch. All right, so let's get into.
I didn't hear you.
Who said that? Who said that? Who had been saying that? Who said that?
All right, so I was just sitting down from getting my cup refilled. So let's go into this. Who said that? This is the part of the show where it has become not my ultimate favorite, because as you guys know, because we're family, my ultimate favorite is basically to talk about politics, because this shit is just like, it's not really my thing, but you know, it's kind of like if you press the button, I will answer sometimes. But anyway, so we'll talk about other things first, and then I'll get into that thing over there.
Hey Rebel, how you doing?
I won't give too much energy. Won't give too much, so don't be. But you're gonna get enough. You're gonna get enough.
Oh Lord.
So
Rebel said blank.
Huh?
Never mind. Go ahead.
Profit commentator. First about this Dovey gate. How does she already have a gate and she hasn't even done anything yet?
Yeah, they haven't gone anywhere.
They haven't done shit, and she's already got a gate. She just been talking about shit, and she has a gate. It doesn't take much. Does it not take much?
But it was all consuming, and it did give me a good couple of chuckles.
Yeah, it did. I will say, Melissa Scott's commentary was very funny, and I was listening while I was working, so it was really conscious.
It's hard, yeah.
And I kept thinking about, I don't know if anybody's ever seen, I know it's on TikTok, but it was this lady who was doing her frying her fish in motor oil or some shit.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And that's what it reminds me of. Like when
TP Gate, yeah.
When I hear the whole thing go back and forth, she just reminds me of that lady is like, what kind of oil is that? Oh, it's motor oil. My mama used it, my grandmama used it. Like, ew, who's frying fish in motor oil? Like nobody. Who's eating that?
That was that can sitting on the stove, was it?
Yeah. How old is that grease?
You don't cook fish, chicken, and everything. Grease your hair with it.
Grease your scalp with it. Everything.
He's straight cancer.
Yeah. Straight something. I don't know. But you know, if the people want to go, so be it. I don't know what to say. If you want to spend your money, and I get it. A lot of people do want to just meet the content creator that they have watched, and some people just want to go to take pictures and talk shit.
Yeah.
so they can go back and bring back messages. You know, there's a lot of them out here that
Well,
will
that's when
act
you
like,
invite. That's when you just invite a
just
smoke.
act like, you know, we cool, we all right, and you just going to collect information for another motherfucker that's worthless. So don't get me wrong, I understand people like to do that, but I would just say take some time to kind of get things together. Really, I mean, if you're serious about trying to do an event, think it through.
Yeah, and definitely give yourself some time.
And give yourself some time.
I would push it back a year.
Yeah, push it back a year. So
nothing's going. You know, nothing's really going on right now. But you know, we still got that stuff going on out there. The shit ain't changed, and I think people would be more comfortable. That's right. They're going down to Florida too. Right. Oh hell no! Fuck no! What I kept hearing. I can't remember who it was that kept saying, "Go down there and come back in cuffs or some shit. Come back on probation or some shit like that." Talking about Florida, I was like, Florida. I was like, oh fuck no! I wouldn't. There's no way in the world I
don't get it.
Because they fucking with the mouse and stuff down there too. I was like, nah, they ain't doing that shit.
No. I wouldn't do it. But you know, to each his own. Yeah, I just
would you say, Patty? I could do. Yeah,
I could do without meeting you, right? You know, and I to my supporters and to, you know, us that rock, I love you guys to death. But if you guys don't want to meet, I'm okay with that, because I'm okay with, you know. And if we happen to bump into each other in, you know, in passing, I'm fine with that. But it's not a thing for me to be like, oh, you know, let's meet up. Like, I don't feel like.
Has there been any group that has gone and had a meet and greet that did not come back with any issues?
With some mess? No.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because I have yet to hear of one that said, you know, we really just had a good time and blah blah, and that was it.
And everything was great. No, it's always somebody that, you know, was really going there with a motive, I guess, in the first place, that really just came back.
Yeah, then you just need to be selective about who you invite.
Yeah. I know you were kidding, Patty Duke. I know. But
you wasn't kidding, girl. You was real. Deep down in your little black heart, I know you was real.
But no. I'm good on that. Like, I don't mind meeting people, and you know,
bumping cooters.
But I'm not all the. I don't do the telling. Like, I'm not a kiss and tell type of person. I've never been that way, so I don't. You know, if I meet, we meet, and it is what it is, and however it goes, it goes. And if you wasn't there, you just wasn't the fuck there. I don't have an issue with, you know, oh, I gotta tell the people, oh, I gotta tell this, I gotta tell that, and you know, you gotta know this and you gotta know that. So I just think that that part of it kind of makes it, you know, kind of messes it up for true people who want to kind of really get that intimate moment to, hey, I really want to converse with you face to face and, you know, really see you instead of seeing you behind a screen or what have you. And really kind of pick your brain and whatever else you nasty people want to pick. But, yeah. So more power to her with that. I just, you know, whatever.
Yeah, tell her take her time, then that she can get her Jamaican fish.
First of all, where the fuck you getting Jamaican fish from? I'm not.
It makes my stomach hurt thinking about that shit.
I'm not. Jamaican fish, girl. Bye. But anyway, if you have 2 cents to add on this portion, then we can go, and then I just have some words, and then I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll be nice. I won't be too much, because you know I thought about it.
I know you thought about it.
Had a whole couple days to think about it.
Think about it. Mm-hmm. I know you thought about it.
Hello.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how you doing?
Listen, I was hearing about this whole thing with the Dovey Gate.
Yeah.
I support anyone that does a meet and greet, but it's a big undertaking. And
it is.
I think, and you have to be careful. I would say, like with Dovey, is meeting these people like this in an uncontrolled environment. I wouldn't get a Airbnb for people to be staying in like that, because you don't know if someone may steal from someone else. What if those people that choose to remain in the house when y'all go somewhere want to raid everyone's stuff?
Yeah.
You know, because but
definitely a hotel. Definitely a hotel.
I would say a hotel. Y'all get a hotel and do some events together, but don't be responsible. Don't put that on your back to be responsible for these grown-ups.
Yeah, because like that.
And then they may get drunk and want to fight. You know, we all got that auntie or cousin that get drunk and talk about who she can't stand and been there with that woman all night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
that's just crazy.
It is.
Yeah, she should just take her time. Take your time, think it through.
Because there are people that there are some people that sit up and wait for you to do something like this so they can sabotage it.
Yeah,
you know,
what I'm saying. And they'll join. That's what I'm saying. They'll join the bandwagon and go just to, collect information on the people who are already there. So that's why
they tried to call the homeowner the police when we were in Orlando.
Yeah, I heard.
What?
Like, who does that? Now people
on YouTube.
Black unity. They talk about black unity and everybody wants to see Dovey's thing go. Listen, when they did that, I was like, oh my God, how would they find this house? What they did, they looked at pictures and they started trying to find out what particular house had what, because it was a themed house, but it was just uncalled for. And even with Dovey, you're having an open invite to people. You can't, this open invite, you're asking for a potential trouble.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely needs to be thought through and pushed back and scaled back as far as, who you invite.
Right. You can't be everybody. You want everybody to come.
There's evil out here on these streets, man. These are
evil
ass motherfuckers.
It is
with issues.
Evil and a lot of undiagnosed mental disorders.
Mm-hmm.
It is indeed.
French fry, would she be having shrimp too? Okay.
Child, where the shrimp coming from? That fish.
I know some people will probably be bringing their own crabs.
Oh yeah, and yes, I'm sure. Definitely some crabs. And the thing is also, Dovey, no shade, and this is just my opinion, but people may also be a little standoffish. Because didn't you say your daughter had bed bugs? I don't know what their lifespan is and if they can jump and stuff, but people may be a little hesitant because you shared that. Now I would still come because I wouldn't. I've heard people make comments about that recently, but people are underhanded. Somebody may come there and say they got towed up by bed bugs just to come on YouTube and talk about it.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And you'd be like, girl, you had crabs before you went. Huh?
Because they'll definitely reach back for something. They've been saving up a long time and they don't know when it may come through again. So, they be pulling out all the stops.
Just saving.
Yes, yes, they will do. Right.
All right. So let me address this. Just this one issue. And I don't think. My spirit is not leading me to do what I wanted to do. So I'll give. And
sometimes you don't need to give energy to some people.
My God.
I'll give the mild version of what I was prepared to do.
Well, I'll just tell you this. I was there, okay? From the beginning. Okay, just like the last time I was there, so I saw it for what it is. There's some serious issues going on when you have to put in that type of energy.
Yeah,
when you're lurking about, and why would you do that? I just found. Well, go ahead.
Yeah,
Do
no,
what you
no,
say
no,
you
no.
gotta say.
No, I agree. I agree. I just find it to be so I was in the chat and I was laughing at something. It was in Brian's chat, and I was laughing at something that comment that a person had put in it, and of course he lets people gaslight him, and he thinks that's cool or whatever. So somebody asks, "Oh, you trying to get in it with that person?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have no smoke for nobody because that's not what I'm doing." Like, I'm laughing. It was funny, whatever. So he's like, "Oh, he don't have no smoke for me, so he can stand up straight." No, sir. Let's be very clear. I don't have any smoke for your gorilla ass until you can stop working on your hands, like you do in the Pennsylvania Zoo. You know that shit. In the Pittsburgh Zoo, that shit. Do you do that? So I know something that really haunts you at night, and you find a hard time sleeping because every time you close your eyes at night, this is what you see.
If you think you have the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent to make me gag, I want to hear from you.
Now, I know every night you go to sleep and that's what you close your eyes to, and it's a nightmare. I get it. But when she asks for your uniqueness, nerve, and talent, ma'am, sir thing, she wasn't talking about any of this. She wasn't talking about that. She wasn't talking about that. And she damn sure as hell was not talking about this. All right? But what you should have shown her, because I've seen that audition tape, and thank you to the person who sent it. It was a marvel of garbage. Because your Patty rendition, total trash. And I could see why you didn't get picked, because I wouldn't have picked you either. But what you should have done is you should have done your original audition tape that I happened to get from the Pittsburgh Zookeepers. You should have done that. This is what you should have done. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in history, his audition tape that he didn't want to show even. Never let nobody deny you that, because that is entertainment. That right there is what you should leave with. But on a serious note, if I'm not addressing you, don't address me, kind sir, ma'am, thing. Don't address me. Whatever I laugh at, I'll laugh at. Just like everybody on your side of the fence, when you're talking your shit and they laugh, nobody addresses. Don't. Just don't address me, because I wasn't even talking to you. You don't exist to me. Okay? To be very clear, I'm like your father. Don't exist. I don't know who you are. So, yeah, please get that together. And I don't know why you feel the need to, always think you have some slick shit to say about a disability when you're on the same goddamn boat. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's why you stay up all night, right?
Oh, child, I'm gonna need me a margarita.
You beat cancer bullshit. All them drugs you take to make sure that cancer don't come back, bitch, don't lie. Tell the truth.
You
Just
know,
wait
it's
till the day that you get that notice that it says, "Oh, it has returned." So let's not. But other than that, I'm done.
oh,
That's all the energy that I got.
and see, I didn't know about this.
Oh no, because it always be that dumb shit where you come into somebody's chat because they talking about you listening, and you're gonna drop down, and then you have other people feeding into it who wasn't even. I didn't even say anything in regards to him. I was talking to somebody else. Oh, you want the smoke? Like I said, I'll have smoke when you win a competition. I'll have smoke when you're not being dragged in a bathroom or near the bathroom or at a senior citizen bingo hall or any of the shit that you do that you think, is grandiose. When you fix your wardrobe, when you really have fashions that aren't homemade.
Mm.
But, what do I know? I don't know shit about drag, but I know it don't look like me.
Lord.
Neither does that person who rejected you. But anyway, so moving right along. As far as movies are concerned, any movies anybody watched lately?
You said any movies?
Yeah, new movies.
No, but I watched the Housewives premiere.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. But I hadn't really caught up on any movies. What's the next movie that's coming out? It was something big that I want to see. But any movies that you'd suggest?
Let's see. I have recently watched what? I watched this show. I watched it straight through. What was it? It escapes me now. It was a show y'all told me to watch too. I just told me to watch it last week, and I was like, I'll watch it. I
Atlanta?
did. I did watch Atlanta till.
Okay.
It was good. Atlanta was definitely good. I did watch Dumbledore Secrets. That was good. We talked about that.
Now, are any of these on Netflix?
No. Well,
what was it? Dumbledore's? Dumbledore.
No,
Dumbledore
Secrets is not on Netflix.
Oh, so what is his secret?
What, that he gay?
Yeah, that secret's been out for a while.
I don't know. I think it was his secret, like Secret Society. I think that's when he started to create his whole Secret Society type deal.
And this was at the theaters?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you ever watch that Harry Potter's the Strange and Fantastical
Beasts? What I'm talking about. Yeah, that's part of the series.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that because I would like, I'm into the sci-fi fantasy genre. I'll have to check it out. Was it pretty good?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. I've seen it a few times. I'm waiting for the Metaverse, Doctor Strange. I'm waiting for that.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see the new Jurassic Park Dominion.
I heard. I haven't seen the previews for that, so I don't know what that's given. But I've watched Jurassic Park in the past. I'm not gun hill for watching it unless I see a lot of the old characters. If some of the old characters come back,
all the old ones are coming back.
All the old characters are back. Yes.
Oh, are they? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody watching? I've watched bits and pieces of what's his face? Johnny Depp's trial with his ex-wife.
With Amber Heard, I was seeing the whole thing. It just I left looking at it when she took a dump in the bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, other stuff, the lawyers have been complete the lawyer for her has come be complete trash. Like he just graduated law school like that day. Other things have just been just not looking good in her favor. Even
Because
if
they dropped him from Pirates of the Caribbean before that, right?
right. But the lawyer recently, one of her new lawyers was basically trying to make the argument that this had nothing to do with them dropping him because there had been rumors before about him being abusive to women. And you know, I don't know how that plays in kind of Hollywood. My thought would be that if it doesn't get whatever comes out, if it doesn't get much traction to where it starts to bring a lot of eyes to a situation, they'll let it pass until it gets enough eyes where people are starting to say, hey, hold up. And I don't know what made this different. I can't say what made this different. But yeah. But do I think he may be able to come back from it to do Pirates of the Caribbean 6? He might.
He had to lose a lot of weight. He has really porked up.
Yeah, he had. Yeah, he is.
Really? I just saw brief clips. I didn't really get a good look at him, and I was just listening like via headphones at work. So
He's giving me Michael Jackson without Neverland. Yeah,
He's able to get therapy.
Yeah. But no, when he took the stand and he gave that whole, what have you lost? I have lost a little bit of everything without losing. Like, you're like, oh, like he really, I mean, he played it. He sold it. I mean, if there was ever a court of public opinion, at that moment, he took the cake. He got it. So I don't know. I don't know what this means for her.
yeah, I think her career may be done after this.
But I mean, what did she do?
She did. Did she do Aquaman?
That's it. That I know of.
I was going to say that's pretty much it, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, what did you do? Like the somebody was saying, I think it was on Ed Pascal's show, that I watch him, check him out as well. Like, you know, women like her come a dime a dozen in Hollywood.
Yeah, because there's nothing about her.
There's nothing about her that's spectacular.
That makes her stand out. Yeah.
That makes her stand out at all.
Oh, and along those lines, did you guys ever see the Batman? I wanted to see that with Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
I still haven't seen that shit.
I haven't seen it.
Well, don't be hating on the Batman.
Look, how many times can you redo it? God, every time it's different. I think that's what bothers me.
Yeah, I've missed about 3 of them.
The character is different. Everything is different. The city is different. This is different. That is different. It's just like, at least back in the days, it stayed with a theme and, you know, kind of follow.
Even if the actor changed.
Right.
Yeah, but everything's totally different. But you know what that does? That reminds me, if you ever watch the cartoon version of it, of like the Justice League and all that,
right?
They're constantly changing up, like on the artwork and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
I noticed that. Yeah.
They may run, you know, one storyline. They may run for like a whole year. Then they'll totally have a whole different crew come in and it's totally revamped.
And some of the artists, it's like some of them maybe studied Japanese anime art because some of the characters have that kind of anime look.
Maybe
sometimes.
look to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get that. I truly get that. But I don't know. I'll check it out one day. I just
it has to be a rainy day. I know.
I was just gonna say like a rainy day. You're at home and it's maybe on Netflix.
And I'm a big Batman fan, but I wasn't. I mean, I felt this way watching Ben Affleck play Batman. It was like, boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere, sit down, trying to live out your childhood fantasies of playing Batman, but you're just not. You don't give me Batman. You give me that. What was it? That DC later on, that whole different type of Batman with the square jaw and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Affleck would have been better playing a Superman than Batman, I think.
I don't even see him that way, but okay.
I mean, it's the lesser of two evils. I would think, Superman. If we had to cast him as a character, a comics character, I would say Superman before Batman, because he doesn't give me that dark, brooding type of continence, like Batman has.
Right. No, I get you. Yeah, but that's about it. That's all I had in regards to that. Let's see. Is there anything else that I am checking out? No, but if you guys have some suggestions, I do have some books that I'm gonna start reading, and once I get into them, then I'll let you guys know about them. That's on the list.
There's a book I want to check out. Is Viola Davis's book, and she talks a lot about she was physically abused, sexually abused, and the whole colorism. And you don't realize until when I heard her talking, and she had to escape. She had no outlet. It was really deep, profound to hear that, because we forget in our communities. Some of us never, didn't have to walk, in that colorist type of a mindset, as opposed to our counterparts that were family members that were really dark. Their experiences in the world were a lot different than some of ours.
But we also witnessed it though too, even as young kids. I mean, I know I
did
with my great aunts and uncles who were very fair skinned, that they did not know. When they would come to New York, they wouldn't know the darker relatives and be like, "Who's that? Who's that?" And I'm saying, "You don't know who that is? That's so and so's, grandchild. This is that." And they just wouldn't. It'd be like, "Hi," but they wouldn't really engage.
And even like with Viola Davis, when she talked about living in poverty and just, the teachers that reached out to her, it's like, wow,
Now, where's she originally from?
Chicago, I think.
Okay.
Yes, Chicago.
I get that.
But you just
Chicago or some down in the Delta kind of. She gives me that.
Yeah, that's because she's always playing a sweaty,
like
with
Alabama somewhere, like
type movies.
Yeah,
she's like the modern day Cicely Tyson.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
She because she plays those real gritty roles.
Yeah. Very, as they say, colorful roles.
Colorful roles. Yeah. Let's see. Check out The Man That Fell to Earth on Showtime.
Okay. Yeah. And I want to check out First Ladies, but I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for her shit to show up.
I'm waiting for her to show up to see what she's giving.
Because I know they clowning the hell out of her.
They are every day.
But it'll probably be one of those things where you have to watch it for yourself.
Yeah.
So they were talking about how she held her mouth or something. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she's doing
she's
a
doing
little mannerisms.
But I think she was doing like Michelle first year in the White House. That kind of
he started laughing, Patty.
awkward moments. But I can't get over the portrayal of Michelle Obama. Yeah, it is a bit crazy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I want to check that out also.
I'm waiting to see what that's given.
Hey, Rebel, how's Kai doing? He's still eating up your wall.
Let me tell you, I was babysitting my first dog this weekend because me and my ex, when I was with him, I got a miniature schnauzer. And when we separated, I let him keep the dog because I was like, listen, I don't want to destroy this man. I'm leaving. I don't want to take the dog also because he has such a strong
he didn't want to take the dog and the snooch. That's what that's
it. That's right. He would be devastated. Would have probably took his own life. But so I was watching. His name is Taboo. I was watching Taboo from Thursday till yesterday, and let me tell you, Kai was so jealous. He was trying to play, but Taboo is like about 12, 13 years old. He's an older dog, but he's well-mannered. So he's so cute, but at times I wanted to smother him with a pillow in his sleep because I had like clean clothes in a little basket. He jumps his little behind in the basket of clothes to sleep. That's where he wanted to sleep at. And I'm thinking you'd have been walking outside. You'd have been, of course I had to rewash the clothes today, but he was so, and my ex has him so spoiled that he only eats Rachel Ray food. And
get the hell out of here.
So he has to take out, it's sealed on the top and it's wet food. So refrigerated, sealed. Meanwhile, Kai's eating Pro Plan Purina.
Can we say Sam's Club?
Okay. But y'all, if I don't tell you, I have a training pen that I keep Kai in my washroom. He has pushed the training pen to the wall. Sometimes I have to call a carpenter out because he's gouged marks into the, I wanted to beat him, but I restrained because I didn't want the cops called up. Huh?
Is he out? Is he trying to get out, or is he just doing that?
He's just doing it because I put toys in there and I leave him. I'm not going to leave him running rampant in the house when I'm at work. So, he's a year old now, but I put toys in there and the training pen, he starts to push it. I have a crate and I put him in that sometimes, but I want him to have more room to move. But I took him to the dog park today and he conducted himself. He didn't hump on anyone because he's gotten the reputation of being a humper. Maybe he's picked that up.
Where did he see that from?
Where did he see that?
Make sure you close your bedroom door.
You know what, Nate?
Saying all that foolishness.
Listen,
got your dog out here. Got your dog out here practicing the dark arts.
Look, my friend, the dark art. My two friends I met when I first moved here. They went to Madeira, near Portugal, and they had bought me some gifts from when they went. One of the gifts was a shot glass because I collect shot glasses. And the woman, my friend Pam, had it at the dog park and it was in a bag. Why another friend of ours at the park dog knocked it over and broke my shot glass? I was like, I laughed about it. She gave me some other cool stuff though, but they want me to go to Fiji with them next year.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, really, really nice ladies. Just it's something when you meet people that people don't give you the impression that they have what they have, and you find out that they're a millionaire. You be like, damn, you live a low key life. She has an old like Bronco that she drives during the week.
They usually do.
Yeah, it's not. They not flashy.
You all young and succulent. They might want to milk you.
Right.
Nate, you better watch your mouth. Take that back. But
they want to milk your succubus.
But I have been, I didn't go into detail, but I had like some health issues that I had to overcome. But these ladies had been there and they were like, if you need us to get Kai, look, come. They were like, whatever you want, this and that. And y'all, I can say this. When I was at my lowest dealing with it, I had, I was not eating and throwing up and just had lost like 17 pounds. Now I gained all that weight back and, and still gaining a little, but these cakes that got fatter. But I definitely, when you develop friendships with people, my close friends like DJ and BJ. Right. And that's an appropriate name for a gay man, BJ. But I definitely, when they saw me, they hadn't seen me and they were just, hugging me and just like, you look so good. And, we were afraid, and, just, I was like, yeah, I was just turning to the side, check it out, take it all in. This is the new me.
Yeah.
That's right. Pants fitting cakes just sitting up like some plump little Debbie snack cakes.
So now you're back to ass clapping weight, huh?
That's right. That's it. That's it. Now I may have to soak in the Epsom bath after that, but I still can do it. Yeah, but and you don't want to share. I think the thing with me is, and I would have came on cam, but I'm butt naked right now. But I feel so much. People take anything, like if I would have came on camera or just share, first thing they say as a gay man is they go to the 3 letters. Anything, we can't be affected by anything else.
Right.
We can't have high blood pressure. We can't be diabetic, which it wasn't that, thank God for that. But I just, it's a lot of things, and people are dealing with stuff, and you don't know what people go through.
Right.
And in this sector of YouTube, like, we were even talking about the Airbnb, how there's some dark people in this sector, and they are so miserable that's just the place that they dwell at on a daily basis.
Right. They play like they're your friend, or they feel like they befriend you, and then, just for a moment.
I wanted to ask you guys something else. I mean, after you've covered whatever topics you had to cover. I wanted to ask you, what were you guys' stance on Dwayne Wade's trans daughter, Zaya, doing the public kiss?
Oh, we talked about that last week. Trash.
Did y'all?
Yeah, we did. It wouldn't have happened in a normal household that we grew up in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And there was the same thing. That wouldn't have happened.
Because one, you're too young for that type of shit.
And that was the main thing. What 14-year-old?
At 14, no, that wasn't happening. So, but I also see with the money and the kind of, oh, you can do what you want. You're free spirit.
Basically, the Smith children.
Yeah, how that would lead to that, because you're trying to, be different than your parents. But I guess.
But I think that I agree with both of you about the whole thing of being 14. My grandmother and mother wouldn't have allowed, regardless of you being trans, hell, even the dog couldn't hump. So right. I think that it's that a 14-year-old shouldn't be that comfortable to be kissing in front of your parents, and your parents sitting to the side. Right. Are they gonna let if they're gonna let your boyfriend spend the night?
Now her boyfriend was trans, correct?
And
that's a whole nother.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't realize that until later on.
I had to process that. That's
real quick, sorry. To answer your question, Phoenix Blue, kids, because we've all seen it. Watching Disney, you've seen, the princess kiss the prince or whatever. But there was still a level of restraint and respect you did not cross with your parents. Like you didn't do that. It wasn't a thing where even
she should have snuck and did it like everybody else.
That's what I did. I snuck out the windows.
Right. It was like you did that type of things if we're just watching TV, and as soon as you heard them them steps or that door open, you jumped up like we're just watching TV. So I mean that part of
that's too comfortable, and it's putting too much out there, and that's on her parents.
Yeah.
That's on her parents.
I think it's too much. You're trying to embrace her being trans, but at the same time,
that you're just accepting everything.
Yes,
which you shouldn't. There's still a restraint that you're the parent, and the child has a child's place. Yeah. A 14-year-old should not be expressing himself like that in front of your parents and your younger siblings.
Yeah.
So you think at that age, what more have they done? At that age, if you're that comfortable doing that,
well, put it like this: now that we know that her boyfriend's trans, also they're heterosexual.
Okay? Right.
Because That confused the fuck out of a lot of these motherfuckers out here, you know, and that's all they stuck on. So we'll put that out there early. What their relationship is a heterosexual relationship.
Right. Very
Yeah, I mean
They
the
are
exterior,
trans.
the
They are
exterior
trans.
may not. Right. That is something.
Because
When
that
I
seems to
heard
be
that,
that's always the thing that everybody's hooked on. What goes where?
Yeah.
And what do you call it? They're two human beings having a moment.
that's
Way
it.
too much.
But you can't do that shit in my house if you're 14 years old.
Okay, if you
better,
ain't paying
you better go sneak somewhere and do like everybody else, because you allow them to do that, the motherfuckers will never leave your house. You need to get your own place. If you want to be intimate with somebody, get your own place, or rent a hotel room.
Zaya been and got that trans boyfriend pregnant.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
That'd be
absolutely right. And that'd be a whole thing. We just talked about trans men not being able to get abortions, you know, that if that whole thing goes through.
Did y'all also cover that the trans woman getting the 2 other inmates pregnant?
We've been covered that 2 weeks ago.
Oh, good God. Like, I've been out of the loop.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Do you think that trans women should be housed together with female biological women?
No, I don't. I mean, I think if that's what you define, then they need to create a unit for them to be.
And you can, for me, I would say you can only be housed together if you've had bottom surgery.
Yes, if you've had SRS surgery, if you have a female that's still intact, no, you need to be housed with another female that has
unit where
but
you
but if you had SRS surgery,
because
they're going to do anything anyway. You know?
At the end of the day, the women, the biological, or I know a lot of women don't like cisgender.
They don't like cis.
That's what it means. Biological woman in the facility, they don't really care that you a woman up top. They looking at the bottom. They probably ain't seen one in a while, and let alone had any interaction with it in a while. So of course they're going to gravitate to.
And to what level are you considered trans? Because when I was going to the clubs when I first went out, some of the people I was cool with, I would call them drag queens, but today they would be considered trans.
Yeah, it's all in the wording, because when I was coming up, we didn't have we had transvestite.
Right, yeah.
And that was the person, but even they could not explain it to the level that it is now, that this is actually who they identify as.
Right.
You know, they did not have the language for it, so it has evolved along with time.
There's a question for you, Nate.
Where would intersex people be housed? It depends on their I hate to say condition. I guess because you have so many variations of intersex, you have some that are just may have an extra chromosome, or you have some that may have a vagina opening and a large clitoris that may be the size of a small penis. Undescended testicles. It's so many variations. They would have to be a separate thing.
And they make the accommodations. So I don't understand.
I was gonna say they may just be housed by themselves.
Yeah, just make the accommodations.
Yeah,
it's uncharted territory that we're in right now.
Yeah,
this is uncharted territory.
And then too, depending upon what they've done, you know, if it's like a petty crime or something, stealing or whatever, they'll send their ass home with a bracelet.
Right. You go outside that parameter if you want to. Gang.
One female friend, an associate of one of my friends, was telling me when we had this discussion, she was like, see, that's why I say, you know, they shouldn't be going to the bathrooms that we go to. You know, I support gay people, but I don't want someone that could be assaulting me. I said, you can, a trans woman that come in there with boobs that she's taking hormones, I don't think she's gonna assault you in the female restroom. I mean, if somebody looked like somebody's dad that's thrown like an old wig on with a sundress,
you gotta look at Uncle Grandpa.
Right.
All they trying to do is pee, okay?
Because trans women have been going to the bathrooms with biological.
We talked about this last week too, didn't we?
Yeah,
when I told you, I said you have these little guys in there, and you know that they're trans. They just present and they give off like gaydar. It's just something off, something different. They just look stunted. Like that's what I used last week. So and they usually go into the stall. Now, if you want to get it on in the stall, go ahead, knock yourself out. But nobody pays any attention, too much attention to that's going on, because you figure that you're touching some kid, because that's what they look like. They're in adolescence, but they just have old features. If they're a certain age, if they're not really young.
It was a question. I don't know if you want to answer that, Rebel.
What's that?
It said, Rebel, when slavery and segregation ended, people were saying that it was uncharted territory. The world moves forward, and we need to be mindful of solutions instead of trying to go back.
Oh, I definitely agree, but I can't expect everyone to be at the same place that I'm at.
There's definitely different levels to what people can actually comprehend. A lot of people, and they may be even part of the community. Right. They can't voice it themselves. Yeah. That's something that they have to learn. That's their journey. Yeah. To do so.
Yeah, and everybody's journey is different. You know what I'm saying? So
And me as a gay man, I've never faced the discrimination that a trans woman would have faced, so I could go to a bathroom. I hadn't had to, me coming out to my family. The first thing that, my father asked me was, you don't want to be a woman, do you? You don't want to get no sex change, do you? I'm like, what? Like, the thing was, he could deal with me as long as I wasn't going to alter my appearance.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's, those are conversations that, sometimes need to be had. I can't even see that.
I mean, I agree with that. But again, a lot of the private companies don't want to pay for the extra space for the facilities.
Now, if you're over in Europe, they do have unisex bathrooms for the public over in Europe. So, I mean, because you just go into the bathroom, and it's usually so much traffic, I don't believe you would be attacked or anything like that.
That are like that here in the States too. Like Starbucks has unisex bathrooms.
Unisex bathrooms, yeah.
There are some places but there are a lot of places that choose not to do that because they say it is costly, and they don't want to pay that cost.
And then you have to also remember the religion plays a big part. Yeah. This is Western society. It's a Christian, basically a Christian society, and it's by their norms and what they believe, so.
And is even coming, and even more so, I'm in the South, so it's like Southern gay people don't have. A lot of times we didn't have the movement of the Northern people, Northern gay people, and as far as it's just a Southern Baptist. And with me, I'm an outlier because I'm a spiritual agnostic person. I've never, I've always questioned things.
Not a Southern Belle?
No. And people, but my family are Southern Baptist for the most part. But I was always a person. You have to, live for you and come to whatever relationship with whatever God that you worship or whatever, spirituality.
It is a personal relationship that you have to kind of discover on your own. And real quick, we talked about the abortion news earlier, so you might want to just red ball it back a little bit.
Okay.
No, I was talking to.
But I'll listen to the beginning as well.
I wasn't talking about you. Somebody had made a comment, so I was just.
No, Dan in the chat.
Oh, child, listen, I'm not on my laptop. I'm on my cell phone right now.
He probably has a delay.
Yeah.
And say, do you think that will energize females to come out? They know it's real. They know it's real. Oh, talking about the abortion issue.
Yes,
I think they know it's real now. That they were kind of comfortable because they hadn't heard any more about it. But remember, when Trump was in office, they were fiddling around with changes that they wanted to do. So you know it was going to come eventually once he put the people in place. That's why he was packing the courts.
Right. But it's phony though. You voted for him to come in, but then once you realize what his agenda was, or what the people, because it wasn't even his agenda, to be honest.
Oh no, everybody was telling him what to do.
Right. But the people that he surrounded himself with, you knew what their agenda was, then it was, oh my gosh, I'm worried about my rights. Like, no, don't be worried now. You did it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing like when they ran out there with them pussycat hats on. And then the statistics came out that white women largely favored Trump over Hillary. And it was one of the reasons why he was able to get in office, even though, a lot of people just didn't vote, but still. So, it plays on to that same thing. You can't play pussy and then, you get poked and you sit up and something. What happened?
Can't play what?
Okay. I played that game a few times, but I think I agree with you.
What did you do? You reneged, didn't you?
That's it. That's it. Guilty as charged.
But yeah, it's the same thing. Like, we can't, talk one thing. And because I was even watching something and there was some black people talking about affirmative action and how affirmative action changed the game because it made people go, well, did I really just get hired because I was black, or did I really just get hired because it's like, well, I get the brainwashing, but the reality was people were not getting hired even though they were highly qualified because they were black. That's the part where we're not even paying attention to. So,
and look at Ketanji Jackson.
Right. And then you being the most, again, highly qualified, more educated than any other justices in history, and yet still you being treated like, well, what is your feelings on pornography? Because you let all these cases go. I'm like, seriously? I was going by the legislation that you put forth as Congress for us to follow as the judicial board. So,
what constitutes a woman as a woman?
That's
she could have been real technical on that, but I don't think they would have gotten it.
No,
right?
Because that's not even what they expected. They probably thought she was going to get angry and foam at the mouth.
Perfect. Survival to see their value.
There was another question. Oh God.
Yeah, I know it's kind of
well.
they're in depth,
right? But the Bible has already been interpreted. Like even the one we read now currently was written by King James, who was, King of England, who also struggled with homosexuality. So when you read a lot of the passages that deal with certain things, you kind of put that in perspective. So, for me, it's not about praising one God over the other. It's all about researching and knowing God for yourself, but actually realizing that a lot of religions bear a lot of similarities. Christianity is not just the end all, it all. There's other religions that mirror the same thing. So.
But I'm sorry, Nate. What were you gonna say?
remember too, the Bible has been weaponized.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is
Yes.
now.
The Bible has been weaponized. Things have been, redacted from it. They change it. Somebody adds another paragraph, calls it Corinthians.
Well, the KKK they were Christians. The KKK was founded as Christian white people. I mean, just the whole thing. You mix linens. You can't wear mixed linens. Eating shellfish, and some of them church sisters eat all the damn shrimp up at the fish fry. But they said that's still shellfish. I grew up in a family of people that I went to Vacation Bible School for some years. Now, I had some minor infractions that got me put out for a period of time, but Lord, I did go.
Oh, we know you did.
So, but I do know that my relationship there are a lot of things I don't know, and I'm open to learning different religious beliefs and just educating myself. I could listen to someone that's a Buddhist. I could listen to someone. I had a Bible teacher that was a Jehovah's Witness. My stepfather was Muslim. My family's Southern Baptist. So I've had different experiences with different religious sects. But my relationship was I had to find out for myself what my understanding of, God, of what, the universe, the one, whatever you call God, and whatever, whatever. Yeah, you could put what type of what do you view God as? That's your personal thing. And people are leaning. I was reading an article last year, and it was about people are becoming more spiritual and not religious.
I am spiritual. My thing is basic. I treat people the way that I want to be treated.
Right.
I give them respect. If you tell me that's who you are, then so be it. I'm not going to disrespect you or anything else.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no problems with that.
When you look
I don't
at
have to go through all that stuff.
Preaching of the TV churches that we have, like the one in Houston, with
Lakewood,
and all that, and it's all about prosperity. Yet the people of your congregation are suffering. The people of the congregation still take public transportation or don't have adequate transportation to the church. Yet, you and Creflo Dollar and all the others, I need a new jet. The Lord told me to pass the bucket around to get me a new this, a new that. It's like, come on. Like,
all the reality stars, pastors from those reality shows, it was so excessive. A lot of things that they did because it was a money grab a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Phoenix Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do I believe the church is the final authority on the Bible? The church has become the final authority on the Bible. I would say that. But it is a book of fiction, and I'll say though, it is the most popular book.
You better watch it. I heard a crack of thunder.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something. I compared it. I pissed someone off.
We held off on that, but it's the most popular book in literature. Period. Whether you believe it's fictional or factual, whatever you believe, it is the most popular book. And through that, I think research needs to be done to kind of really get to bits and pieces, and other missing parts need to actually come together. So we actually, go ahead.
I told someone, and they were really upset. I called the Bible a grown-up version of Aesop's fables, and they got pissed. But to me, I just feel that I can see some of the moral. It can make people have a moral compass, I guess, with some of the stories, but a lot of the times, now you tell me if it was a girl in your family or with some of the people in the chat, if it was your daughter, your son had a girlfriend and she said, I got pregnant by an angel, I'm having God's baby, what would you say to her? Seriously, think about it. In this day and age, if someone said they got pregnant and they said it was divine intervention, it was a divine pregnancy.
Now to ask her what weed you had.
Okay, right.
Get some of that shit.
Yeah, but if you don't get your ass, girl, if you don't go sat down and go, that ain't my son, baby. You better,
Right.
Seriously, I think, and I told someone, you know, back in those biblical times and those in that era, I think a lot of times to avoid getting stoned,
Right.
people made up stories.
Yeah.
You know, women could be stoned. If your husband said you cheated on him,
that's it.
Oh yeah, that's when men had total power. They had life, you know, and life or death. You didn't cook the potatoes right.
Okay.
and your ass was gone the next day.
Yeah.
He pissed off because he wants that other woman to be in that house, and you nag too much. He thinks he can have you killed.
That, or you haven't produced too many sons. Something as simple as that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bowling girls.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are definitely, people still, you know, there are churches that are still functioning and make a lot of money. But when I talk to coworkers, 80% of my coworkers are spiritual people. They don't go to any organized religion. They veer away from.
Yeah.
Hell, I think a succubus sat on me last night, so I could say a demon had his way with me. Well, am I lying? You know, I mean,
it's all up into interpretation.
Everybody needs a good succubus sometimes.
You know
but,
what?
I'm not going with y'all. Okay.
Yeah, I have to go because I need to eat. I got me some boudin and I need to grub.
Right.
Thank you guys for having me on. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Oh, you know, like anytime, sir.
Nate,
it's always fun, sir.
Nate, and I've told you this a few times. You resemble this guy that I dated years and years ago. The goatee, the glasses, and everything. He was a sweetheart. He had a kind, gentle heart, but he had a strong leaning toward S&M. And that's what made me stay for a long time. But guys, I'm out of here. Have a great night.
Okay, you take it easy, man.
You too. And on that note, thanks for coming through and hanging out with us. And thank you all, as always, for chilling with us. It's always a pleasure. Sir, any parting words for this week?
Wear your mask. Numbers are going up.
And mind your goddamn business.
Mind your goddamn business.
Mind your goddamn business. If I ain't talking to you, mind your goddamn business.
Stop working. Just stop it. There's something wrong.
Just mind your goddamn business.
And be respectful. Be respectful to each other. You know, people are times of need. You know, shit happens to people. God, you're so hateful, motherfuckers. God damn.
But some people can't help it. Some people can't help it. When they've been hated, they don't know nothing but to spew hate upon others. That's it. But when you know love and you grew up in love and you grew up in
but to talk about the deceased.
Well, again, but that has everything to do with not knowing love at all. Because it makes no sense how you can sit up and talk about a deceased person and be comfortable talking about a deceased person, and in the same breath, just a couple months ago, you sitting up there mad because somebody had an episode on camera and another person was making fun of it. Where's the fucking difference? Where's the fucking difference? And that be the shit that makes me just totally look at people like I'm not even going over there. I don't want nothing to do with over there. I'm not watching. I don't care. I don't care. Because that's the bullshit. Because you pick and choose what you want to stand up and think about. Because no one should be talking about anybody who's left this earth. Because we all could have left this earth or on the verge of
we will all have our time. And
that's it. That's it. That's it. And for anybody to think that that's funny or something to make fun of, and yet you sit over there looking like shit, that's nothing to make fun of. You over there looking like a whole burnt human for months, sounding like that motherfucker when it's this is your man on drugs. This is your on drugs. Any questions? That's the fuck what you sounded like for months. And people prayed and people wished and hoped and prayed. And you got your fat back. But motherfucker, you were even looking on death's door. The videos are out there. But we get so stupid and act like, oh, that didn't happen. It did. It did. There's one thing to talk about somebody because you're dealing with that person, but to go after their family after losing someone, that's true. That's nothing to play with. That is nothing to play with. And kudos to Brian for keeping it together as much as he could and moving forward. And for people to make fun or think because your mother was wise enough, like others, to make sure that, hey, if I leave here, I want to make sure that my children are taken care of, that they're able to have a start or continue on the path that they want to go and be comfortable enough to go, I want to try this. I want to go here. I want to do this. I want to, to whatever until they find their way, then so be it. It's not my problem that some parents didn't give a shit about you and kicked you out and, gave other things that you thought was coming to you to other people. That's not, I'm not, it's not funny. There's nothing entertaining about it. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. It really, really, really is. And coming upon Mother's Day, which is
yes, I was going to say Mother's Day is right around the
Sunday. My mother's passing, which will be in another hour, literally and figuratively. That's nothing to play with. That's nothing to play with. And it really takes strong human beings and people with strong moral compasses to stop someone, okay, when they start talking that mess and just saying, hey, that we're not going to go there. But to allow it for numbers and views and clicks is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's sad and it's pathetic. But it shows that a lot of people here have no moral anything, either that they're scared or they really just, they're about the click and the view, which.
No, and we have a lot of broken people.
Yeah, but I mean.
A lot of broken people. And I mean, and they show it because they show their ass the things that they consider humorous. It's just ridiculous.
But it is what it is. But, blessings to the people who've lost but gained. Who's lost but gained. And not just in a materialistic way, but have gained the understanding of knowing true love, true compassion, the true essence of family and togetherness and thriving to be better. To, okay, I left this to you to now take this and soar greater than I could ever. As I sat here enslaved, whether, while you slept and you didn't know what I was dealing with in this situation. That's the type of stuff that makes apparent that some of these people will never know. As much as they talk crap, they will never know that.
And a lot of our parents and friends have been taken prematurely. We've come off of 2 years of uncertainty, and to make light and joke.
Yeah,
and that goes for everybody that's out there. That's fucking up.
It does.
Do better, people. Shit, I tell you that all the time. Do fucking better, man.
Right.
Do fucking better. Like,
I mean, I know. I'm period. You lucky to be here.
Just do fucking better.
You're lucky to be here. So I mean, it's like,
come on, let's hang this shit up because I'm getting mad.
Act like it. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, your feelings are hurt. Fuck your feelings. fuck your feelings. Your feelings are unimportant. But anyway, to all the mothers out there who are listening and who will be listening on the replay, happy Mother's Day to you.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to you.
For the sacrifices you make. And these are two godmothers as well.
Happy Cannon Day to you, baby.
Yes, happy Nick Cannon Day to you, Lynn T. But seriously, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, to all the godmothers as well, because you all play a major part in the development of a lot of young people, far more than you know. You are the bridge and the gap as well, or the gap fill-in for a lot of parents, a lot of mothers. So continue to do what you do, and I salute you all. God bless, and until next time, America. Wear your mask. Mind your fucking business. And I mean mind your goddamn
mind your business. Definitely.
And I love you.
Mm-hmm. Sir, can you give me 5 minutes afterwards?
Sure.
Okay. I won't hold you long.
It's okay. Later.